Hello, everybody. I'm delighted to be a part of this great event and to be here to talk about the future of business. Welcome. The title of our talk is CPQ Configure-Price-Quote for Odoo. Let me first introduce myself briefly. My name is Erik Frey. I have been running a rope and net making business for over 25 years. And I am a master rope maker, but previously I graduated in industrial engineering, so I know both the theory and the practice of business and technology. I have been involved in configuring products for decades. And I invite you to visit our website, CodeCPQ.com, where you can get the test access to our module. You could have visited us on our booth L11. It's almost over, but if you want, you can meet us there after this talk. It's not. It's not going on. Okay. You can ask questions using this pad on Odoo. It's called pad.odoo.com/p/CPQ. Let me briefly say what I will talk to you about in the next 20 minutes and what questions I want to answer. First, what does it mean, CodeCPQ? Then, what are the main features of CodeCPQ and where is the added value? Then, use cases. I don't work. Use cases, then how does CodeCPQ module setup works, and then the summary. Let me briefly say what I will. CPQ means a process chain in the sales of products. It is especially helpful for products that require a certain configuration. The purpose of CPQ is to support the user's mostly sales staff in the creation of offers. How does it happen? In the first step, when configuring, it must be possible to specify the product according to the customer's wishes, but also according to the technical and commercial rules. The product variant is selected and other parameters are defined. Wait. The price is then calculated automatically by CPQ software according to predefined rules. Finally, an attractive quotation document with a product description and prices is created automatically and preferably without manual intervention. In addition, more extensive documents can be created in which the product is described in detail and also illustrated. I have now described the classical CPQ that usually is established in CRM system. Okay. It does. Sorry, I have problems with, with the technical things. The it does not start.
Oh, so it's going down there, which makes no sense. We're going to put a slide for technical difficulties. So that, do you
For CPQ Configure-Price-Quote is used very successfully in some companies for sales processing and has a great business benefit for there. Through automation, you can simply create better quotations documents much faster. With CPQ, the product know-how in form of texts, but also marketing knowledge, technical commercial background is available where it is needed. The lead times of sales processes can be significantly shortened by CPQ, which saves costs. I stop here because the list can be much longer. About 3 years ago, I have realized that Odoo has a superior concept in the market of ERP system and offers a marvelous software. But Odoo standard does not support to configure complicated products. They always require manual intervention. Of course, there are custom-made modules that can manage special products. Until now, however, there has been no way to handle different and complicated products universally. Our new module, CodeCPQ, has closed this gap for Odoo and even added more features to the classical CPQ, such as design, production, purchasing, and invoicing. Let's have a look at the main functionality of CodeCPQ and how the Odoo ERP can profit of it. I would like to introduce to the main features of CodeCPQ and show how some of them work. You will see that the new CodeCPQ module opens huge business opportunities for users of Odoo ERP, but also, and that's why you are here, for those who set up Odoo for their customers. With just a few lines of code, you can configure complicated products in a way that was not possible before. CodeCPQ is a universal tool, a generic tool, like a development environment that allows you as a backend user to control the configuration of various types of products. For example, technical parts, software, contracts, or services. These products can also be very complex. All you need is to know how to describe code or formulas or algorithms using Python. For each CPQ product, you can create your own data structure as a Python object, even in the backend. Let's look at our sample product, a customized table. Here you can see the backend programming of the CodeCPQ product configuration. It is all controlled by Python in a text field we call code snippet. You can determine the data structure yourself by defining a Python object. Table height, table shape, tabletop length, width or diameter, tabletop thickness. The default values are also assigned right away. In short, you can use the full functionality of Python programming language. It allows you to define your product's data structure precisely. Here, you can define how the input form to configure your product according to the customer's wishes should look like. This input form is for both. For the front end, where your website users can configure products and put them into the web shop shopping cart. And for the back end, so that the sales staff can create quotations and handle orders. Via the backend of the CodeCPQ module, the input mask with which the product is to be configured is built very flexibly using Python code. If the user knows a bit of programming languages, he can simply do it. However, it is also possible to build more complicated input masks and guide your users specifically during the configuration, following all possible rules and providing him with information. Many control elements are available, such as input fields for text and numbers, selection lists, or checkboxes. You may have wondered what the configuration screen looks like. Here it comes. The CPQ input form looks so user-friendly, even for back-end users creating sales quotations. It supports multiple languages. At the top of the form, you can find the Odoo standard configuration, where the product variants can be selected as usual. CodeCPQ controls the additional input elements. With these graphic selection elements, you choose the shape of the tabletop here. Depending on the shape, the numerical input field for the length, width, or diameter of the tabletop appears below. If the values are outside of the valid range, you can have an error message appear. The drawing is also updated quickly during the international operation. Selection lists are available too, so are checkboxes, input fields, long and short, date input fields, and even color selectors. Of course, text can be displayed as desired. Because of this, the special feature, the function, and the appearance of this input form can be programmed exactly. You will now see how this works. A backend user having appropriate access rights can control the Python code for controlling the dynamic input form. In the upper area of the code, the graphic buttons are defined. Then these functions will build the graphical selection elements. Here you can see the case distinction according to the shape of the tabletop and the functions of the numerical input fields for length, width, and diameter. Then below you find the other types of input controls. At the very bottom, the dynamically generated text are displayed on the input form. CodeCPQ allows you to flexibly control the configuration of products with simple Python code. While the advanced back-end user only takes care for product matters, here in the back-end, CodeCPQ is dealing with all other issues like the connection to the Odoo database and the web browser display and functionalities. With CodeCPQ, you can use Python functions to assemble the text exactly as they should look like. This is especially true for product texts and descriptions, but also for texts that are used dynamically for the input form and the drawings. PDF files can also be created automatically, of course, with multi-language support. You can assemble all text with corresponding functions in Python. There are unlimited pricing options because prices can be calculated using Python code based on the product configuration made. The basics of pricing are formulas, algorithms, bill of material data, web sources, databases, and so on. The same goes for custom discounts and even supplier pricing. The prices are immediately updated and displayed as soon as the user makes his entry. I will also mention that the program code for pricing and creating drawings, part lists, and other relevant data will remain on the server. The website user and also the backend user without an appropriate access right cannot see it. The product knowledge remains hidden. A backend user with appropriate access rights can define the method of pricing by code snippet. Here we see the code snippet intended for the price calculation. Our example shows how the surface area of the tabletop is calculated first, with distinction of cases by shape. The price per square meter of the tabletop differs according to the thickness and the tabletop board. With the value assignment via formula, the price is set. One could also determine the discount in a similar way. As you see, with CodeCPQ, everything can be arranged very flexibly and very generic. A huge advantage of CodeCPQ is that it runs as a regular Odoo module on the same server. The response times are short. It requires neither external services which are offered at a high price as SaaS, software as a service, nor other interfaces. CodeCPQ is completely integrated into Odoo. The configuration data from CodeCPQ can also be used by other modules with the appropriate programming. During product configuration, information provided by other computers can be retrieved via API requests using web services. CodeCPQ thus helps to automate the workflow of complicated products. It provides the framework to dynamically recreate drawings, CAD objects, and PDF documents. Bills of materials can also be given Python code to automatically control composition and quantities, even with multi-level bills of materials. You can achieve something like inheritance of attributes through the bill of materials structure and also have documents such as drawings or manufacturing instructions for components created automatically. Also automatically created product descriptions and drawings can be used for ordering from the vendor. Use cases. CodeCPQ first and foremost supports the sales process in many aspects, but other business areas also benefit from it. HR, human resources. Here it supports the staff intensively and increases productivity simply because product knowledge can be implemented in CPQ. Automation, Business 4.0, CPQ is almost a prerequisite for this. And the product manager will be the main player in the design of CPQ and also the one who benefits the most. For him, it's the ultimate tool that helps him achieve goals. Next point explains how to install CodeCPQ. CodeCPQ is easy to deploy for Odoo experts. In contrast, a typical Odoo end user does not have enough experience to program everything. Odoo partners will probably always be given tasks to continuously refine automation with CPQ. After all, it is not just about installing CodeCPQ and the initial configuration. Follow-up jobs for more advanced adaptation will be needed. Technically, the setup is easy. CodeCPQ runs as a normal Odoo module on the same server, currently in the Enterprise and Community Edition in version 16, and 17 in the near future. We can suggest Python libraries as far as CAD and PDF. Now your work really starts with the configuration and Python coding. Suggest to your clients how to automate the sale. In short, we can help you to bring CPQ to Odoo. The CodeCPQ module is a great opportunity for Odoo partners to achieve a win-win situation with their customers. Is your customer already using Odoo or is looking for an Odoo partner? CodeCPQ extends the functionality of Odoo and therefore a good argument for Odoo as an ERP solution. With CodeCPQ, you as an Odoo partner can offer this solution to your customer. Your customer can implement the CPQ approach, most likely together with you as Odoo partner, because customization and also sophisticated CPQ configuration require your Odoo competence. Your customer achieves business benefits. This strengthens your position as an Odoo partner and secures your business. We will help you to bring CPQ to Odoo and to your clients. I highly recommend visiting our website. Thanks a lot for your attention. Do you have any questions?
Yes. So the first question is, why is it called CodeCPQ?
The reason why it is called CPQ is because you mainly don't configure your product or the product scheme by clicking, but you use Python code you can include in the back end. So the CodeCPQ module is very generic. You can use it for any product, but you have to include all configuration schemes by Python. And you have to code it. That's why the name of our product is CodeCPQ.
And I have another question. Do you provide support for SolidWorks?
No, we don't have support for SolidWorks because our idea is to stay inside the Odoo cosmos. And SolidWorks is a strong software, but I think with a CodeCPQ, our module, Odoo can catch up a little bit because the main features are included. The configuration can be done very exact. The pricing is very, very flexible. The documents, the sales documents can be written. You can write PDF, you can make drawings, you can include them in your documents. And with a little bit more of programming, you can also automate everything very good. And you can use it in the front end for the website, web shop users, and for the back end, which has the same input screen as the front end user. And you can even use different kinds of configuration forms. You can control everything because it's made in Python, and Python experts, it needn't be an Odoo expert, but Python experts can build up the configuration, CPQ configuration, and so the product knowledge can be handled by the company itself. And one advantage is also that you don't, if you change your product somehow, some small configuration, you don't need to code it into the module code and stop everything and load it newly, but you can change it almost on the fly. You make these modifications in the back end, and it will be recognized immediately. So it's a way to configure your products. Okay.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you.